Welcome to the High Level Entrepreneur, a podcast with me, Joella. In today's episode, I want to talk about how your results depend on who you are behind the scenes, not what shows up on social media in your content or in your marketing. And this is something that I've given a lot of thought to over the past couple of years, and noticing how rare it is to truly embody leadership and embody what you are preaching other people to do or to be. And I feel like sometimes we normalize that we are very good at giving other people advice, and we don't hold ourselves to the same standards. So when I talk about high standards, I often mean that you should expect more and tolerate less. And that means clients. Yes, that means your pricing. That means your results, your goals. But it also means you should expect more and tolerate less from yourself. And I mean, when I talk about that, I mean the leadership and the identity and the mindset behind the scenes, because that is truly what determines whether you are acting like a true leader and CEO who is aligned, peaceful, and happy, and always taking aligned action and making good decisions, versus running a business, invoicing people, staying on the same level, and feeling like the more your business grows, the more pressure grows, the more stress increases. That's truly the difference. And I want to emphasize that your business doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to who you are. And that's also precisely why in my mentorship with clients at Inside Industry Leader Lounge, we don't see identity as something extra to talk about. We center identity in the core of the discussion, even when we are talking strategy. All right? Because identity controls what you do and who you choose to be. It controls your energy. It controls how other people perceive you. It controls how much money you can charge for your services. It controls how you show up in your personal brand. And it also determines that intuitive, subconscious feeling that clients have about you and whether you are the right person for them or not. So I want to repeat that your business results depend on who you are behind the scenes, your identity. And your business can only grow to the level of your current identity. So when I mentor my clients, we are not talking about how can you fake it? How can you trick people? How can you create amazing content? We talk about like leadership, the stuff that you don't see. And that's why my clients are so successful. Like, that's why my clients are getting hundreds and hundreds of signups for their trainings. That's why they are industry leaders. That's why they get media features. That's why they are invited into exclusive rooms with premium potential clients. That's why they are selling offers for, everything from $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $30,000. And that's why my clients are premium. Like, premium doesn't come from a photo shoot or a photography or visuals. Premium comes from who you are. It comes from authenticity, but that authenticity is based in something truly valuable and real. That's why I think the best thing you can possibly do to increase your own value and the value of your offers is to increase your own value. When I say increase your own value, I mean your own value to yourself and to other people. That's what I mean. I mean expanding and upgrading your identity and your level of leadership, because that just makes business so much easier, makes your life so much easier. It means that you can give from a full cup. It means that you can support your clients much more efficiently and better because you actually you're able to be neutral when you are in sessions with clients instead of stressed and overwhelmed. Okay. So that's why I mentor people into a high level of leadership. And that's why I want you to upgrade your identity into being a CEO, because I don't just want you to be any CEO. I want you to be an aligned, calm CEO and leader, and a true leader, because like you can be a CEO without being a good leader. Like I want you to be a leader because not only will that gain you premium high level clients that want to work with you because of your level of leadership, because you are standing on the front lines, in the forefront, instead of following everyone else. All right. You are someone that people can look up to, someone that people want to follow and listen to. And that comes from who you are, not not who you pretend to be, not from a content strategy. That's why I stopped focusing on helping clients with content, because I realized that, it's not your content that's going to make the big difference. It's who you truly, truly, truly are, who you choose to be, because that is going to make your content and your marketing so, so, so much easier. And that's why whenever I do speak about content and marketing and strategy and sales in my programs and my offers and with my one-on-one clients, it's always from an identity-based place. Okay? So who you are behind the scenes. Let me give examples, like specific examples. This is how you handle business and how you lead yourself when you feel like nobody's buying, a launch is failing, a program failed, or you had a conflict with someone. You had an unaligned client who makes you feel like, instead of going into, oh my God, I don't even know if I want to sell this program anymore, this offer, I don't know if I want to work with clients anymore because I had one unaligned client. That's about taking yourself out of those, it's kind of like drowning in that mindset of like, my week is ruined because somebody stabbed me in the back, or because I had an unaligned client, or because I had a failed launch, or because I had all of these challenges. And that's why in Industry Leader Lounge, we talk about this stuff. Like we are open and we talk about the challenges and how to handle them, how to deal with them, because every single entrepreneur deals with it. And it's nothing that anyone talks about on social media. Like, but that is what I truly find admirable in my clients, is like when they handle problems in a good way, when they happen to work with an unaligned client, deal with that problem in an extremely professional and good way, and then manages and regulates their emotions around it. That's like a lot of my mentorship with clients deal with these kind of stuff. Like that's when you really want mentorship and a group of high-level entrepreneurs to support you that can relate to you, because those are the moments when you really, really need it. And that's why I love that my clients are part of Industry Leader Lounge or my one-on-one for like an extended long period of time, because you're able to feel like you have a home to come back to and somewhere to be supported when all those challenges arise, and mindset challenges or failures, whatever it could be. And who you are being behind the scenes also doesn't just have to do with how you handle challenges, but what you tolerate from other people. Like when you have somebody overstepping your boundaries or speaking to you in a way that's not respectful, or calling you outside of working hours, or even not even that, but like the type of clients you choose to work with and how they are as human beings and how they are in their business or in their life and whether they are doing the work or not. I always tell my clients, like, you actually don't have to tolerate having leads and clients that need to think about it for weeks and weeks. This goes against maybe what other people would say, but what I always say is you can literally have high expectations of the type of people you want to work with and expect fast decisions from them. Because when you have high expectations of other people, you're not more likely to be disappointed. You're more likely to attract that level because you already have a high standard. But when you claim to have high standards, but you actually keep lowering them and you actually keep betraying yourself, then something is going to be unaligned. When you say, I work with high level clients or premium clients, and then you take on people that don't do the work, or people that just don't feel 100% right, or people that you're not excited to work with, or people that, are super slow to make decisions or questioning you or questioning your value. Like when you are doing that, even though you're saying that you attract another type of person, what's happening is what you say and how you seem is not aligned. When you actually have high standards externally, outwardly, but also internally, those two things, like the content and marketing, what you say and what you actually do, is going to feel true. And you are subconsciously going to automatically go out in your marketing and in your sales process already expecting certain behavior from people, already expecting certain personalities, already expecting, something from people that, again, I'm going to give you an example. If you are taking, like, let's say you are a coach and you work with business owners as your clients. You really desire working with people that are experienced, people that are 2-3 years in to their business, and are in a place of more like wanting to grow rather than getting started. But you keep taking on clients that are early on in their business. They don't know how to sell. They have never posted on social media, and they are dealing with a lot of mindset problems that you usually deal with when you're in the beginning. Even though you might feel like, yeah, but I'll just take on these clients that are beginners and I can work on my content and my marketing in the meantime to attract the right people. Yes, absolutely. And we all have those periods when that's like a shift. We're making a shift, right? But if you, over an extended period of time, continue to take on these unaligned clients that just don't feel right, that are just not perfect for you, and you say you are targeting people that are 3 years in, suddenly your world, you're going to normalize working with beginners, and every problem that has ever been brought to you are beginner problems, every mindset problem. So your content and your marketing, you're going to subconsciously start talking about things that beginners are dealing with and not that people that are more advanced and experienced are dealing with, because you actually don't really know what they're dealing with, and you are not waking up every single day speaking to those types of clients. You are speaking to clients that are beginners. And it's the same with like, if you keep accepting that people are going to take a long time to make a decision to work with you, you are going to assume every single time a lead comes in that people are going to take a long time to decide. And that's just the way it is, when that is not necessarily true, right? And because what you experience in your reality isn't necessarily the reality that you need to be experiencing. That's why we talk so much about like reality creation. That's one of my favorite topics, is reality creation, because we all live in different realities already. So you can literally jump into a different reality. You can jump into a different reality than the one you're in right now. For example, you might say, well, people always want to think about it. People always want to think about it after a sales meeting. They will never buy. If that's what you truly believe, that's how you're going to lead the sales meeting. You're not going to be prepared to sell to someone in that sales meeting. You're going to assume that everyone always needs to think about it. When the truth is, there is a reality that some people have that where people actually buy immediately. And the majority of people that they speak to buy immediately in the call. So what I'm saying here is, what reality do you want to live in? You don't have to assume that just because what you have experienced is true. So when I talk about who you are behind the scenes, what you tolerate from people is important, because it shifts your reality. If you tolerate people that are overstepping your boundaries, you're going to experience a reality where people are always overstepping your boundaries, and you're going to assume that clients will always overstep your boundaries and team members will always overstep your boundaries. And that's not because they overstep your boundaries, it's because you are allowing that to happen. And then you are attracting people who like to overstep boundaries. And you are automatically going to be drawn to people that overstep your boundaries, because that's what you're used to. And they're going to be drawn to you because they subconsciously feel that you're the kind of person that would allow that. So that's why when it comes to boundaries, it's important to have boundaries. It's important to communicate them, and it's important to maintain them. Something that I really, really try to do personally, for example, is I will reply to clients, one-on-one clients, every single day. And in my group mentorship industry leader lounge as well, if people are writing any questions or anything in that group, I'm replying every single day. But I set an expectation to people that I will reply once per day. Every once in a while, yes, I might reply twice, right? But I really try to maintain that one reply per day boundary, because if I said that I will reply once per day, but then I'm replying 10 times per day and I'm always in Telegram, what happens? Well, people start to expect that I'm going to be constantly available in Telegram and going to be available to respond all the time. So then I'm creating a dynamic where I'm extremely available, extremely reachable, and I'm being involved in every single minor decision or minor thing in their business, which is making it impossible for me to take on more clients, to have time for other things in my business, because then I'm basically only in Telegram, right? And it's also not beneficial to the client. But then if I'm saying I have those boundaries, but then I'm not acting like it, and that's one thing. You have to have boundaries and you have to communicate them. Some people just expect other people to know your boundaries. That's not the case. You have to communicate them. You have to communicate them, and you have to establish them. I'm sure if you have kids, this is something you've practiced with your kids as well. You can't say, candy is only for Saturdays, and then you end up giving them candy every single day. Like, what happens then? Then you are breaking your own promises. You're disappointing yourself because you are doing the opposite of what you said you would do. And you're confusing your clients because you're also not doing what you said you were going to do. And you're creating a dynamic that you don't want, right? Another way that people are sabotaging their results is by constantly over delivering to clients and over delivering to people. And this is the problem. Again, this kind of ties into being available, because the problem with constantly over delivering is that it's usually, when I say over delivering, I believe in over delivering in quality, not quantity. I don't believe that quantity is valuable to the client or to anyone. I believe in quality. Always over deliver in quality. I prefer to be extremely present and have my mind be extremely present and truly mentor my clients from a really good place and really help them and go deep into something than, being constantly available, always replying and not really caring about what I'm supporting them on, right? Or not having time for them. So I believe over delivering in quality, but some people believe over delivering means quantity. It means a lot of calls, a lot of meetings, a lot of availability, a lot of replies daily. They think that's what it means. And when you are constantly over delivering, you are usually doing that from a place of fear. Like, what happens if I don't? I don't want people to be unhappy. I don't want people to not have results. So again, what is that creating for you? Is that creating a codependent relationship with your clients rather than a really deep, equal mentorship or coaching or consulting, whatever it is, relationship with your client? And and why are you over delivering? Because very often it's from a place of fear. So do you want to support people and over deliver and run your business from a place of fear that people won't be happy with you? Or do you want to do it from a place of abundance that you love supporting your clients and you know that quality is better than quantity? Because one way of doing it is like, you have tons of clients and you've included so much in your offers and you're always over delivering that you actually don't have time or space for more clients. You don't have space to do more marketing. You don't have time to start a podcast. And like, that happens a lot. And clients come to me and they're like, well, I don't have time to do all those things. I struggle to scale my business because I'm already supporting so many clients in these offers. And then it's like they're over delivering, but they're not charging the price in alignment with that level of extreme availability or delivery. And also the clients don't really need that from them. They usually just believe that's what they need. So of course your business doesn't scale. Of course your business doesn't grow because you've created a prison for yourself with the lack of boundary. And you're always over delivering and constantly being available. So how are you going to scale? How are you going to get more clients? How are you going to have time to reflect or think or grow your business? So this is what I mean, like your identity, when your identity is based on I need to over deliver, I want people to be happy, when that is part of your identity, that is not CEO leader identity. That's fear. Okay. And when you shift this, that's when you can actually scale because you are freeing up time, you are attracting better clients, you're creating better dynamics, your clients will actually get better results. So that's what I mean by identity-driven business. It's also about how you deal with your own triggers, because as ambitious entrepreneurs, it's very easy to get triggered by other people's success. Maybe someone got an opportunity that you didn't, and you're triggered by that because that was a big dream of yours. Maybe someone is making more money than you are, and you feel triggered. Maybe there's something you see on social media and you just don't like that, what you saw, you feel triggered. An extremely important part of leadership as an entrepreneur is understanding that you are being triggered, but not reacting on that trigger. Because the goal is really to not get triggered at all. That is what we should work towards. But the first path towards that goal is to control our reaction, both our emotional reaction and our actual action. Okay. So you can be triggered, but the moment you start to compare yourself to other people or you become jealous, you're giving your power away and you're allowing an external occurrence control how you feel and how you show up in your business. So when you are triggered, what will very often happen is either you'll react emotionally, maybe you'll even take an action on this. You'll change something in your content, you'll change something in your offers, you'll post something angry on social media, whatever it could be, but like you'll take an action based on that reaction. And that's what we really want to avoid. So as a leader, what we want is to be aware of, okay, I can get triggered by people, clients that can trigger me. This can happen. But my job is to take a moment and step into my higher self and not give my power away to another person, but lead myself through that trigger and emotionally regulate myself. And the very first thing is like, it's okay to feel what you feel, but don't make an action. Like, don't create an external action. Don't allow it to come out. Okay. And then we can work towards not even getting to a place where we are comparing ourselves or even being triggered by what someone else says. Because when we become aware of our own triggers, we also more easily become aware of other people's triggers. And that's when we can realize that person is acting out on me because they are being triggered, because they have something unhealed in them. And I can understand that and not allow that to create a trigger in me. So we're two triggered people going at each other, or there's one triggered person on social media and you're triggered by them, and then you're like, it just creates this toxic cycle. So I always encourage, like, step out of that stuff. When somebody wants to engage you into some kind of argument or conflict, like, be the person who leads, who is calm, who is stable. Like, I always think of it like the goal as a leader is that we are a tree in a storm. Like, you are a stable tree who always stands still, whether it's sunny, whether it's stormy, no matter what. And the last thing I want to speak about is how you treat other people, right? I truly believe that I've heard and seen, like, there's so many people that just, they are successful or they get to a level of success and then suddenly they start treating people shitty. But I also believe that, you know, money and success emphasizes who we are. So if you are a bad person, you're going to be a bad person. If you have a lot of scarcity mindset, your scarcity mindset is going to increase even more. If you have a need for control, your control is going to increase even more. So when I talk about this, like, I know that those of you that are listening to this know that you're a good person, you're not a bad person. But what I want to make sure is to remind you that who you are behind the scenes really, really matters. And it affects your results. And it affects how you feel about your success. So again, like, if you get stressed and you project that onto others, and maybe you feel like, well, I was stressed because I'm going through all these things. We have so much to do in my business, and they should have just understood what they should be doing. Like, when we come into that, that's when you start to not treat people well, right? But maybe it comes from a place of your own stress, your own overwhelm. You have so much to do, and you start to, like, make that other people's problem. And that's what I want to emphasize. Like, the reason why it matters who you are behind the scenes is because the more and more successful you get, the more your qualities are going to emphasize. So if you're an empathetic person, your empathy is probably going to increase and you're going to treat people well. If you care about your clients already, if you genuinely love your clients, you really care about them and they don't trigger you and you can handle, any problem that arises, like with more success, you're just going to have more abundance of that. But if you don't lead yourself now through those triggers, through those unaligned clients, through all those challenges, through the failed launches, more success is just going to emphasize your need for control, your, stress, your way of tolerating your own behavior. So what I really want to emphasize here is, you know, who you are behind the scenes will determine your results, but it will also determine how you feel about your business, what type of clients you attract, how heavy your business feels, or how light it feels. Sometimes I've had tons of clients at once and it's felt heavy. And sometimes I've had tons of clients at once and it's felt light. The difference between that has been the level of clients I attract, how I lead myself through stress and through problems, how I can lead my team, how I can communicate, the boundaries I can set against people, with people. That's the difference. And that's the difference between making it feel like I'm so calm and my nervous system is calm, but I'm still reaching for the big goals. I'm still making big changes. I'm still investing a lot of money into my business, but I'm calm. I'm dealing with problems. I'm dealing with failures, but I'm calm. And that's when you increase your capacity. And when your capacity increases, that's when you can make more money. That's when you can get more clients. That's when you can attract premium clients. All right. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll talk to you soon.